3, or no, good morning, it's day 4. It's a little after 4 a.m. I didn't sleep real well. I was up around probably, I don't know, a little bit before 3 o'clock this morning. It was a really warm night, and at this shelter area, kind of, when you get to it, at least going south, you're about halfway between the top of Butler Knob and the bottom. And so there's like no airflow, and it was like, it's 66 degrees right now, but it's really muggy. Clothes are still damp. I put them on to try to dry them. They're getting close to being dry, but it was a warm night sleeping, and I think that had a lot to do with it. But as I'm sitting here drinking coffee, I just got an alert that rain's going to start, and I hear a little pitter patter here and there. It's a light rain, and the rain's going to continue on over the next couple hours. So I did look at the weather, because I do have signal here, like a little bit of signal, and it's supposed to start like really raining at 6 a.m. today. So may see some sun today. I'm hoping I luck out, but I don't know. And I just put dry socks on. Shoes are still wet, but at least these socks are clean. They're not going to stay dry. Nothing will. But I am going to start off today wearing rain pants at least. And if it does rain in the morning, I'm going to put my jacket on, because it's cool enough. And I don't want to be dripping wet again for a while. But I think I am going to try to do the 34 miles. I got 17 miles to go to get to where I want to camp. Originally was going to camp. But after looking at it, it's, you know, it's about a quarter of a mile stretch where you're allowed to camp. So it's from here to there, there's no camping at 17-mile stretch. And then there's no camping until you get to the Cowens Gap State Park area, which is another 17 miles. So that's kind of a narrow margin here, you know, for any kind of air or not being able to find a spot to hang. I mean, I'm sure I could make something work, but I'm going to try to get on trail here by 5. I'm hoping that it starts to get light, because I'll tell you, I haven't even been on trail yet this morning, and I got lost. So I went back to do my morning constitutional early this morning, because this is my second cup of coffee. As soon as I woke up, I had one. But there's signs that point to where you can dig your cat holes, because again, there's no privy, but they kind of have an area for you to do it to, you know, it's wrangling the poop in one area, which is nice. So I got back there and turned around to come back, started walking back, and I'm like, what? I don't think I went that far. Looking around, I could not find it. I was lost. The only thing that was guiding me was the moon that was out at the time. And again, this is like 3:30 in the morning. And I couldn't find the shelter, couldn't see anything. Luckily, I took my phone with me, which I usually always do when I kind of leave, you know, from where my hammock is. And I had to use the GPS to get back to the shelter area. And I was way off. The shelter is right here. I was way down there. So for about 20 minutes, I was lost. I was starting to get worried. I got the GPS, like, okay, I'll just find my way back. But if I didn't have my phone with me, I think I would have just sat down or stood there until it got light to find my way back. But because that's the worst thing you do, is just keep walking, because you'll just get, because I was not where I thought I'd be. So that's why I kind of want to wait until like maybe 5, a little bit after 5, because it'll be light enough. Because the next water source down, it's kind of off the trail a little bit, and it's a spring. It's like a spring house. So they say you can't hear the water. So I don't want to miss that, because leaving here, I'm going to have 1 liter. Water sources are not great for this next stretch. I have that water source, and if that's not working, there's another one, I think 4 or 5 miles down, but then that's a very sketchy source, sketchy as far as not reliable. And then the only next water source is in 3 Springs, which I will get to this morning sometime. But that's like 9 miles from here, almost 10 miles. So I don't want to do this 10 miles on 1 liter. But that doesn't include my coffee. So I have a full liter to leave here with. And so I'm hoping to get water. I'll probably carry 2 liters today, at least to 7 Springs. And then I'm going to look and see what the water sources are. I mean, they don't look that great as far as being reliable. I don't know if I want to take that chance of not having the water, because it's going to be a long day for me. So I'm going to finish my coffee, and I am going to pack up. I already kind of started packing up, but I'm going to eat something to lighten my pack, and then pack up, and then I'm going to go. It's a little after 5 and I'm all packed up. I'm just going to sit here in the shelter. It's been raining off and on, like real light, but it's 10 after 5, so I think I'm going to wait till it gets a little bit lighter. Only because if I got lost going to the bathroom this morning, I'm just going to wait once a half an hour waiting for it to get a little bit lighter. So dawn is like 5:45, so it should be light enough here in like, half an hour, 40 minutes. So that's the plan. Just waiting on some light, then I'm just going to move down. I got my rain pants on because if anything's overgrown or because it's wet and it's hanging down, I just don't want to be soaking wet. I'm going to try to keep my legs dry as long as I can. And then plus at 6 o'clock it's supposed to be pretty substantial rain, so then I'll put the raincoat on. But that's the plan for right now, and then I'm gonna move on. I'm glad I waited till it was a little bit lighter to leave, because basically I'm heading back because I missed the turn, but I just missed it, and I realized it turned around, and it's a hard turn back that way. I was just kind of hoping I'd stay on the road. But anyway, one thing I did notice, when I left Mapleton, the blazes were a little bit farther spread apart on the trees, and a lot of them are kind of old and faded, like they're hard to see. Like this area, they're kind of faded, so I am glad that I did wait, but then again, it was a road walk so far, so it made it a little easier. But like I said, I did miss that turn, and gonna be getting to Seven Springs or whatever it is today. But this is the day where we have the I think it's almost 7 mile road walk. But I've been on these little dirt roads, so I guess if you count those, and if it's the roads all the way there, it's more like, 9 miles of road walk, which at this point is okay with me because I can, crush some miles and get a jump on today. It's before 7 and I'm still on this road walk. I've been hiking for about an hour and a half, maybe a little bit more now, but I checked back there and I hit 6 miles already in 1.5 hours. So that means maybe just a couple minutes longer. So I'm going at about 3.8, 3.9 miles an hour, which is pretty good. But it's been this road. I mean, there was like I think 1.5 to 2 mile stretch that you went back in the woods, but you came right back out to this road. And road walks are boring. Really nothing to look at, but the same woods. So I'm taking the opportunity to make up some miles this morning. And I got a few miles, probably 3, to get into Seven Springs or 3 Springs. I think it's 3 Springs, whatever that town's called. But then after that, it's still like 4 more miles of a highway road walk, because this is going to meet with like a bigger road, and I think that meets with another road. So I'll be able to make up some time, but I am going to stop at a convenience store there, take a break, maybe have a coffee, and have some food, and then keep on going. But I'm not going to do what I did yesterday when we got to Mapleton. We got there early. We got there before the restaurant opened. We got there around 10-ish. So we stopped at the park and did our foot maintenance and relaxed for almost an hour. Then we hiked over across the bridge to the restaurant at 11, and then I was back on trail by 12. So I spent 2 hours in town. So this today, I'm just gonna go in there, eat, relax for a little bit, move on, because it'll be probably 8 o'clock when I get there, and I'll have lunch later on in the day. So made it to the main road, well, the first main road, and I think this begins the official, I think it's closer to, by the way I looked at it, closer to 7 mile road walk. I'm 8 miles into for the day. It's 20 minutes to 8, and I left at around 5:30, so yeah, I made 8 miles in almost 2 hours, but it's been a road walk, and I know they don't call it a road walk, but it's been this logging road or mountain road, but I could fly, and there was nothing to look at, so, but now this road looks a little sketchy. People are flying on this road, so I'm gonna have to be careful here. But I only got about a mile to get into to where I think, maybe almost 2 miles to get to the gas station there where you can eat. And then I think I still got like 5 more miles of road walking. Just left Three Springs, and pretty nice little town. They have a mini mart. They have across the street from that, they have like a pizza place, and then down the road a little bit they have a diner, but it was closed today because of the 4th of July and Happy Independence Day, by the way. So I stopped there at the mini mart, had some sandwiches, breakfast sandwiches. You had to heat them up there. They're pre-made, but they hit the spot. And one of the reasons why I did leave earlier today and kind of pushed to do this road walk is because it's already hot. I mean, it's only going on 9 o'clock. It's about 8:45, and it's already hot out. So, and you're exposed. And I was just walking. I mean, really, the map says it's a like 6 or 7 mile road walk, but that doesn't count the mountain road that you did for another, you know, almost 8 miles. So that would be exposed as well into the sun. So it's heating up, but 5 miles should probably take me, you know, an hour, 45 minutes, 2 hours on the road. So got to get booking. Today is going to be a high mile day, about 34 miles. And man, I've been road walking forever. I think the total distance I've counted, including the mountain road, is going to be a total of about close to 15 miles of road walking. And well, and actually, it's pretty beautiful. A lot of farmlands out here, beautiful wildflowers. The bad part is the sun and not getting hit by a car flying around these mountain roads. Back in the woods, and I just filled up on water. The next water source is about 7.5 miles from here, so I'm carrying 2 liters right now. Should be fun. Mile 19, between 19 and 20, and I just stopped here to log. I'm gonna take a break. It's not even 12 o'clock, so I got 19 miles in about 7 hours today. But again, most of that, about 15 miles of that, was strictly road walks, man. So I could fly, but I certainly slowed down now. So I need to eat and drink and get some electrolytes and rest my legs, because I am definitely starting to slow down.
I'm hiking along and just heard thunder off in the distance, and I've been noticing that the clouds kind of rolled in and they're like dark. And this morning before I left, when I checked the weather, it showed at 6 a.m. like a 40% chance of rain. Then it was supposed to drop down, and then like nothing in the afternoon, like maybe 20-some%. I just had signal back there before I heard the thunder, and now it's like 50-60% chance of rain over the next couple hours, and I just heard the thunder. So I guess I'm gonna get rained on all the way to the end every day on this trip. You just can't trust the weather. It changes constantly. Pouring down rain, slowed down a little bit, but I just can't seem to catch a break on this trip with the rain. I'm at 24 miles for today, and it's about 10 minutes to 3. It sounds like I'm coming up on a road, but I just filled up on water, and it's kind of dry in this stretch, even though it's raining, but I ran out of water hours ago. I was so thirsty, filled up. The only problem is because it was pouring down rain, now all the water is foggy. So this wasn't too bad yet, and it's supposed to rain more. So what I did is I just filled up, since I got about 10 miles left, I just filled up 2.5 liters, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be it for the day. I don't have to stop anymore to get water. But if it keeps raining like this, and we're supposed to still get a thunderstorm, then the water's going to be like chocolate milk, and I just don't want to deal with that. So just got to keep on moving in the rain. Makes it interesting. That's the apparatus that they have to get up over their fence. Steps up and down to a ladder, and then all the way down. You know, today's been a long day. You know, when you're out here a lot, you're out here for a long time, you have a lot of time to think. And I was contemplating, you know, as I'm hiking through the rain, slipping, sliding on rocks, falling down. You know, I think, you know, I'm 8 miles from the end, but I think that this trail is the hardest trail that I've done in Pennsylvania so far. I know there's still some more, but just the terrain, how technical it is, the availability of camping, and the water sources. I'm saying this is the hardest trail I've ever done. Sun came out and I'm seeing some blue skies. And I tell you, right after a rain, like a storm or something like that, and the sun comes out real bright, it's just really beautiful in the woods. Now I'm kind of down here in like a draft or something when there's no real breeze. It's like being in a sauna. So still on my climb up. very overgrown vista, but it says that in gut hooks. I just hit the 30-mile mark for today. I got 4 more to go, and man, are my feet just tore up. I've been going through this now for probably 20 minutes, and I have to tell you, I'm sorry, but this is stupid. It could be that it's the end of the day and I just did like 31 miles, but made it up over that little rock scramble. That took me like 40 minutes to go a quarter of a mile. Just coming down through here, and I grabbed this tree and it just fell, and I went face first down there. Luckily, I didn't keep going down, but man, I'm gonna be hurting for that, man. I hurt my neck, I landed and twisted my head. It's been taking me about, I got to the top here 2 hours ago and I've only gone like a mile and a half. That's how slow go this trail is up here. It's about 8:30 and I made it back to the car and changed my shirt. I got a chance to walk through the state park. It's a really nice state park, very crowded because today's the 4th, but my thoughts on the trail overall, I liked it, I enjoyed it. It is the hardest trail I've ever done. Some of the negatives of it are, there's that, you know, basically a 15-mile road walk. And the trail is just super, super rocky. I mean, rockier than any trail I've ever seen in Pennsylvania. So to compare this trail, I would say it's kind of a mashup between the Susquehannock Trail, Black Forest Trail, and sprinkled in Chuck Kuiper. But it's just way more difficult than all those trails combined. I mean, this is just a very difficult trail. The worst part of the trail for me that I did not like was what I was just up at, up here out of Cowan's Gap State Park at the top of the mountain. That whole ridge was just ridiculous. It took me hours when it should have taken me like maybe 1 or 2 hours. It took me like 4 or 5. I wanted to be back at the car at 6:30. It took me till 8:30. So basically, I guess that's a 13-mile or 13-hour hiking day, but you know, 34 miles. But to put that into context, like basically 15 of it was a road walk where it was probably 3.5 to 4 miles an hour average, and then the trail was like 1.5 mile an average. So so yeah, this trail is tough. You have very limited camping. You have to camp at certain spots. Water is always an issue, and just the terrain overall, it's kind of tough. Right now, I need to go get something to eat. I am very tired and I'm behind in drinking water. So with that, I'm going to end it, and I will see you next time.